go check out Cali Connection Disc Golf.
Stay connected.
I'm Nikko Locastro, and I'm here with Pavo Stubstad from Hyzer Productions, and we're going to get into King of the Lake 4th round footage at Truckee Regional.
Truckee River Regional Park, that's
Tell
right.
me about Truckee.
We've seen so far in this tournament 3 epic Tahoe courses, and we're on to the 4th. Another one in Truckee, California, the same place where Sierra College is located, what we saw for round 3. This course is one of the older courses in the Tahoe area. I believe it's been around since 1999. It's a bit shorter than the 3 courses we've seen so far. Definitely a lot more birdie holes out there.
Yeah, it's a birdie fest out there, and I wish I would have got time to practice the courses a little bit more.
Yeah, that's a valid point too that we should mention. Nikko had a chance to practice, I think it was 3 out of the 5 courses before the tournament. Bijou, round 1, that was the other course.
Yeah, it's an interesting format with a 5-round random courses that are around the lake. It's a tough layout to figure out in just a short time.
There's not a lot of tournaments that are laid out like that where it's 5 rounds in 3 days and every round is at a new course. I mean, it's a lot of driving around and cramming 2 rounds in on Friday and Saturday. It's
a lot of fun though, playing all the different terrains and beautiful landscapes out there around the lake.
So going into round 4 here, James Proctor has a 1-stroke lead over Nikko. We've also got Jere Eshelman and Dave Madruga on the lead card. And actually, after the last round at Sierra College, by 1 stroke, Jason Herm dropped off the lead card, and we've got Shasta Criss instead, so a little change up there as well. And with that, let's get to the coverage.
Yep, showcase the best NorCal players. Let's watch it.
King of the Lake, round 4, lead card. First place, we've got James Proctor from Roanoke Park, California, sitting at 29 down, rating at 1020.
Grass Valley, California, Nikko Locastro, rating 1035.
28 down, just a stroke behind Proctor. In third place, we've got David Madruga from Auburn, California, rating a 993, sitting at 21 under.
Currently in the 4th position, one of Northern California's finest players, Jere Eshelman.
And tied for 4th place, we've got Shasta Criss from Santa Cruz, rating of 1004. First hole here at Truckee River is in the B pin, 342 feet, big Hyzer or sidearm, out around some OB. Blind shot.
This is a technical hole. You really have to make sure you clear this first line of trees before you have a chance at birdieing the hole.
Got him. That was on a line, too.
And Proctor's right, that was on a good line. I mean, if it had missed that tree, it was heading in the right direction. Nikko,
I remember I throw a blue mongoose on a Hyzer flip, and I just try to thread the first set of trees and get a look at birdie.
And you got down there. David Madruga taking the sidearm approach like Proctor. Just clips one of the last trees. That was looking pretty good. Jere going for the turnover backhand. Flipped nicely. It was a pretty good line, just didn't quite have the height it needed. Last but not least, Shasta Criss. One of the trees on the inside.
If you notice the terrain here, a lot of these holes on the course have these shrubs that you have to air the disc all the way to the hole. You can't really count on too many skips out here.
You almost never get any skips out here, that's true, with all the sagebrush. It's a different kind of gameplay. Make the disc come down where you want it to be. Proctor's got to look at a 3 there. Pretty close. Jere with a long look at a birdie.
Jere has an interesting style. He always seems to give it a good run.
He does, and in a safe way, too, on downhill putts like that. That was, fading out. It would have been all right.
Good speed control.
Absolutely.
Madruga's usually a rock-solid putter. He lets one get away there.
And Nikko in the circle. Great start to the round.
It's always a relief to get the first putt out of the way. Shasta connects for his par. Proctor with a routine tap in from 10 feet.
Yeah, all the players are just tapping in pars here. It's a tough hole to birdie. You really got to hit that perfect line, get through the gap, and float just enough down the hill. So with that birdie, we got a tie at the top.
Hole number 2 is basically a wide open pitch Hyzer. Probably
Yeah.
a putter or a soft mid-range shot.
255, wide open if you take the Hyzer. Probably the simplest hole at all of King of the Lake, I would say.
There is a steep drop off behind the basket, so you kind of have to make sure you throw a finesse shot on this hole.
That's true. And if you go down that hill, there is an OB path as well, but that's really the only danger. And Nikko is under the basket.
Proctor takes the simple approach.
Came up a little bit short, but he's got a good look at it. Another pure Hyzer. And Shasta's right there too. Not much to say on a hole like this. Proctor's out, but still in the circle. A little low weak side, but it stays in. He knew it.
Let me try that weak side too. It works.
Good solid putt from Madruga.
I'd say Madruga makes 80 to 90% of his putts inside the circle, when I play with him at least.
He's a very solid putter, and even outside the circle too. We've seen him hit a lot at King of the Lake so far already.
I noticed he's had those black putters in his bag for a while, so I think he's really learned how they behave.
And that right there is actually the first star frame that we've seen at King of the Lake on the lead card, which is surprising that it took 4 rounds to get there. Hole 3 in the B pin, 367, there's a OB path that loops around behind the basket. And Nikko's up first.
Go with the blue mongoose again. Holds pretty straight. This one goes a little bit long though.
A little bit long onto the path, which I believe you didn't know about, having not played this course before, right?
Now I wish I would have got some more practice on this one.
James kicks over the OB path. Obviously not too happy about that, but it's better than landing in the path and getting that penalty. Madruga opting for the sidearm.
Threw that one a little bit high. He's going to be playing for his par.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to really rip that and turn it over down the path and have it fight back to the right.
Jere pulled that just a little bit. It's going down the path.
And that stayed on the path, barely.
It was questionable from the tee pad. None of us could tell.
Yeah.
He hit the gap smooth. Just turn it over a little bit.
And that kicked and stayed on the path as well. This path does play as a river, so if you're on the other side of it, you're still safe. It's not even path and beyond. It's a small path, but it grabs a lot of discs. Proctor's upshot, a little left. Not too bad.
I'd say that rock's about 130 feet away.
Kind of a similar shot from Madruga. They've both got a little work left.
Really? That's what I thought about
And here we see Jere on the path.
So you think you hit this rock or this rock? Right by this rock?
Yeah,
right
like
where you're
right
at.
There's my girlfriend Jen with the other camera, getting the vantage point from the basket on all these holes.
It's always good to get somebody else's view if they have a close view.
And of course, she had
Usually,
the
courtesy is to take their opinion on it.
she had the best view of what happened there, of course. And Jere's there for a 4P. Nikko taking the relief from the OB. Gonna be putting for a 3.
I was surprised that it stayed on the concrete.
Just low.
Could have let that one go just a little bit higher. Probably would have made it.
Shasta for a 3P from the other side of the path.
About 45 feet. High enough.
Gave that a good chance. That was close. Madruga saves his par.
Makes good for a 3. Proctor, easy putt for the big man.
Shasta gets that 4P. Jere does the same. Always quick. And also Nikko. It's a rough hole. 2 pars and 3 4Ps. Hole 4 is one of the most unique holes at Truckee River. We've got a Mando there where you got to stay to the left, and the basket is on a steep slope. You can get some bad rollaways sometimes.
A lot of obstacles close to the green here, so sometimes a good shot can get a bad skip, or a not so great shot can get a perfect skip.
You always get that bounce back. That's not just me.
That one was in between, worked out in his favor. He says it always works when you turn him over into the hill.
He was going to be a little right with a little bit of a death putt, and that kicked him down there. Madruga, that just stayed flat. Didn't get the Hyzer he was looking for.
A little windy out there. Go with the sidearm approach. I thought it was the play on the hillside. Came in a little hot.
Yeah, I think it skipped, and then there you can see it rolled down the hill a little bit
Back
too.
side of the green. There's a slope there.
There is a slope all along here. The steepest slope on any hole at Truckee River.
You have to have a lot of commitment to make a putt on a sloped hillside.
Jere running it. risky one to run on that turnover backhand.
Shasta puts a good move on this one. Ace run.
A lot like Jere's. You run it, you end up a little deep.
Gives him a long look at birdie.
2 great shots, though.
Madruga just trying to lay this one up without going too far. He did pretty good.
That's all you want to do on a hole like this if you're 100 feet out, is just try to get it to stick. Jere with a bit of a tough upshot here.
Gives it a great run.
A good run, and has his disc come down at the same angle as the hill, which really helps it stick and not pop up and roll.
I wanted to make this one. Ran a little bit strong. I'd say that was a good break. It didn't roll straight down the hill. Came in with Hyzer angle on the hill, hit a rock. There's a lot of rocks to hit.
That is when you usually roll away coming in on that Hyzer, even without rocks. Shasta lays up for a 3. And here's James for a 2 after getting that kick off the rocks down there. Easy birdie. Nikko gets his 3. And so does Jere.
You always hit here and bounce off the rocks towards the basket.
I'm wondering if that's true. If you just turn one into the hillside, maybe you could play it for the Hyzer skip ace.
You never know with terrain like this. Anything can happen.
Disc golf's an interesting sport. A lot of interesting things happen out there. It's a mystery sometimes.
So James with the only birdie on that hole.
I have a good saying that relates to disc golf. Some things cannot be answered, only questioned.
And hole 5 in the B pin, 313 feet. Protected by a wall of shorter trees that you can definitely throw over, but there's no direct line at it.
It's a really good sidearm. Gets it high in the sky, over the trees, coming in close to the basket. Close enough.
Little downhill putt for 2. And that is definitely the play if you've got that spike Hyzer with a sidearm.
Madruga takes a similar line, not quite as high as Proctor's, but it's got plenty of speed.
That looks tasty.
Skips up there under the pin. I wanted to go with the left-hand approach. Came out a little bit shorter than expected. I was hoping to get a putt out of that one.
I've seen you throw some great left-handed shots, though. You've got it
Parked
in your
in
bag
practice.
for a 300-foot Hyzer, for sure.
Could have practiced a few more of those in the morning.
Jere with
Takes a really nice route. Over the trees, over the basket. Good speed control. Keeps it inside of 15 feet.
perfect shot. Shasta going for the turnover backhand like Jere.
Shasta is also using a lot of the sky up there. Moves in on its way
Shasta.
towards the basket on the green.
Nikko after coming up short. Long look at a 2. Just low. That's a big putt. Very close.
Very close.
And you could barely see it in frame there, but his disc actually rolled down the hill to the left. Madruga taps in his 2 real quick. And Nikko for par.
Lost focus for a second. That's all it takes.
It's always frustrating to get a roll away on a birdie putt.
It's always better to just take a few breaths, step away, and get focused on the next shot. Things don't always go your way out there, and that's just the game of disc golf. No round's ever the same as the one before.
Jere gets his birdie there with a beautiful drive.
And the sticks. I
Even
might have
on
brought
your,
some of those with me in my hair.
even
that
on your
happens.
10-foot bogey putt, the course is messing with you.
End up in some tough spots every once in a while. It's a game of many tests.
Hole 6 in the B pin and Hyzer shot or sidearm off to the right, 288. There's a little creek in front of it. It's very small, but it is marked off in OB whether there's water in it or not.
I truly believe that disc golf has more terrain than any other sport.
And we've seen a lot of it at this tournament alone, just from one Tahoe course to another.
We just have different trees, different rocks, different landscapes.
So much variety all at one elevation pretty much at this tournament. And then you go down to lower elevations with skippy terrain, hard pan.
It's a sport of variety. A lot of different shots to choose from, a lot of discs, a lot of manufacturers. Sport of opportunity. Jere's going to have an opportunity for birdie right here.
You know he will with that turnover backhand.
Got on the good side of the tree.
Shasta with the low sidearm.
Had enough Hyzer to skip towards the basket.
Yeah, he's right there.
These guys made the sidearm look easy. I made it look hard.
Just a little too flat. And it's hard to get through that stuff on the left there. As you can see here, very low ceiling.
I laid out for it.
You really went for that one. I gotta commend you. You didn't lay up for a 3. You were trying to make that 2 still.
There's a good putt.
Good putt from Proctor.
Proctor had a great week on the putting green. Got to give it to him.
And that's a good 3 save. As much as you wanted the 2. It's a good putt.
Jere drops it in for his deuce.
Shasta with a little bit of a weird stance, but shouldn't be a problem from 10 feet. That's the thing about this Tahoe terrain, you know, you never have totally clean putting stances. There's always rocks or bushes or something that you gotta contend with. Madruga with the CTP tap-in birdie.
Gotta zone in on the basket. Just like Proctor zoning in.
Yeah, he has been in the zone so far. Hole 7 only has one placement, 216 feet right behind that big pine tree.
One of the easiest holes on the course.
Very easy. Very easy to birdie. Not very easy to ace.
Should be easy, but you can get a 30, 40, 50 foot kick off the tree. Proctor comes in short of the tree.
Yeah, that tree.
It's looking like it could have aced.
Could have aced if the tree wasn't there.
You don't want to go long. The OB is about 30 feet behind the hole. Kind of hidden. Can't see any flags or rope from this angle.
Yeah, it was a newly added OB shortly before the tournament. This was my home course for a long time, and I didn't even know about the OB until I was filming here at King of the Lake. So it's one of the newest additions to this hole.
Jere takes his classic one-step toss. Successful.
And he's parked for a 2. And I think Madruga did not know about that OB either, as I think nobody on this card did.
This is a Santa Cruz style throw. Got to come in soft, land it close to the basket.
Not surprising, Shasta has it dialed.
I take a wizard turnover trying to play the ace line. A little bit hot.
Kicked down to the right.
Still
but
on the
then
green.
Kicked back up off of one of those rocks. And here you see where Madruga went OB. There's a little rope. You can't even see it from here, but it's right behind those rocks that he's standing on now. So he was only OB by a few feet.
There's a lot of elevation on the short hole.
Yeah, it's a tricky green. Oh,
That was a spit out. Looked like it came through the chains off the pole.
after going OB and an OB you didn't know about, getting a spit out, that's a
You don't want to see that happen to anybody.
Frustrating 4P on a short hole. Nikko gets the birdie. And everyone else here is pretty much tapping in birdies.
Whoa, almost went man down.
Shasta with another
He's hanging in there. Got balanced like a cat.
10-footer with a challenging stance. And there's Jere. Tap in birdie.
All kinds of nature hikes on the disc golf courses around the country. He's having some fun with it. Let's go.
Four birdies and that unfortunate bogey P from Madruga puts Madruga, Shasta, and Jere now tied for third.
It's a battle.
Battle for third. Hole 8 in the B pin, 241 feet. Just a little Annie shot out there.
Proctor looks really focused on this toss. A good spin. Some funk playing in the background.
Yeah, there was a little party going
I
down.
think he was feeling that. He was feeling that music playing. It was for him. He was zoning.
Little party down the hill from here to the left.
Another ace run here.
Ooh.
Good try. It's a backboard.
The basket's supposed to like lean over.
He was hoping it bounced in for ace. Everyone's feeling the funk right now. Come on now. Get funky with it.
Shasta a little wide, but he's got a look. Another wizard turnover.
Going for the ace. Come on. Oh. I thought I made it.
That was a great shot.
We all look like woodsmen.
To play a disc golf tournament like this, you kind of got to be
Absolutely.
out in the woods for 3 days.
Out here in the wilderness. It's just us, the disc, a piece of metal.
Madruga connects for a good birdie.
Somebody in the crowd had one of those squeaky toys they kept trying to get us to miss.
Yeah, that must have been it.
It's just going to stop for Proctor. No, he was going to make that no matter what.
Not letting the birds or the squirrels or the squeaky toys distract him.
What happened here? I think a bird flew by and pushed that one to the right. Gonna act like that didn't happen, although everyone's gonna get to see me miss a 10-footer.
Happens to the best of us.
Happens to everybody, I guess.
It does. Hole 9, B pin again, 348. There is OB probably about 30 feet to the left of the pin.
Got that Hyzer. Wide to the right, comes in close to the basket.
25 short maybe.
It's just one of those holes that I was talking about. You You gotta land the disc very close to the basket and don't rely on the skip. If you land it within 10 feet, it'll probably stay within 10 feet.
Jere gets a rare skip right there. It's much more common to not get it. You gotta hit a patch of path pretty much to get it.
Couldn't tell if these guys did drivers or fairway drivers. I went with the fairway driver. I think Shasta might be going with a DGA driver. I know that. I go with the fairway driver. Played one a little bit wider than expected.
Yeah, a little short.
A little bit of a crosswind.
Tough stance from in that sagebrush too.
Yeah, hard to get focused for me on this particular day. Sometimes it's like that.
Shasta for birdie. A little low.
Yeah, Proctor.
Heard it gets windy in Nevada where this guy's from.
Oh yeah, the courses he plays down in Reno a lot, they're always windy. Jere and James get the birdies on that hole. James has stayed focused this whole round, putting together a solid one.
Making when he has an opportunity.
Whew. Madruga snuck that one in.
Count it.
See the wind trying to grab that a little bit.
Sometimes even those can spit out when it gets windy.
Yeah, I've played a tournament in worse wind than this, where those easy tap-ins, the wind can grab them
Can't
as soon as
take
they
them
hit
for
the chains.
granted.
Yeah.
You gotta make sure you put the right amount of speed control on those short ones.
Hole 10B, 275. Hyzer up and over the trees. The basket's a little protected with about 4 trees around it.
Couple different routes here.
Take the Annie or the sidearm to the left or the Hyzer to the right.
Well guarded.
The outside line is actually less guarded, which I think is why Proctor went that way, but he didn't turn that over enough. It didn't hold. He went deep.
You can hear the wind ripping.
There's the more traditional Hyzer line. Jere hits one of the guardian trees.
It was getting gusty. Jere's trying to play the wind, hoping it'll Hyzer in. It's on its way, just got shut down by one of the last trees.
There are only a few trees there, but they're all pretty thick and dense, so you can hit a lot of branches.
What you call the guardian tree.
Shasta going a little higher and wider. And he's a little deep right.
No skip rule on this course.
Yeah.
I was trying to play a spike Hyzer route where it wouldn't skip. I was hoping I could land right on top of the basket.
It was heading at it. It just hit another one of those guardian trees. Proctor went deep.
About 70 feet. Goes for it.
You can go for it at a course like this, you know. That's the benefit of not getting the skips. Solid. Right in the heart.
Good putt.
Shasta's putting's been a little off this round.
It makes 2 of us.
Yeah.
Couldn't hit him in the middle. Kept hitting the sides, left, right, straight.
Sometimes it's tough to recover mentally after a few bad holes, you know.
gives you a reason to practice when you have days like this.
Oh, Shasta. James gets his 3, and Shasta with the rare 3-putt. Unfortunately,
You can either
it's the
practice
bogey.
harder or sell all your discs. Quit. You got options.
2 options. One extreme or the other. Couple pars at the top, couple birdies in the middle, and that unfortunate bogey brings us to hole 11 in the A-pin, 335 feet. Uphill though, probably plays more like 380 to 400.
Truly believe it's about your mindset. Even on days when you're having a tough time, you just have to keep telling yourself that you're going to make the next one. You're going to make a good putt during your round. You can do it. You got to reinforce the positives, and eventually you'll make some good putts.
That's absolutely true.
He's trying to pull a flat shot, and that one turned right. As you could see, it could be a tough upshot if you land behind one of those.
Yeah, you can either flip to flat and go right at this one, or play the S-curve out to the right and have it fade back into the hill.
I was done hard in like 2 hours. Right in the ground.
Either way, with the steep hill behind it and to its left, it's pretty safe to run on drives.
This hole
and
allows you to
upshots.
really power up and throw the frisbee on an aggressive route.
Stay up. Over it.
A little bit left and it clips the hill, slides down.
Had decent results. I felt like I pulled that one a little bit left, and that's thick grass. Can't really expect it to skip forward.
And just 10 feet right, that would have been
At
a great
least I got
shot.
off the hill.
Yep.
Shasta plays a little bit straighter.
Similar shot, and
I think
his
he's closer to the basket, though.
closer up at the top of the hill.
Madruga's got a simple up and down. He'll just Hyzer it in.
Yep.
Similar upshot by Proctor. Hyzer putter. Nice and soft. Routine.
No problem, especially with that hill. Can't really go wrong. And Madruga taps in his par. And so does James. And Jere, wide right for birdie. Safe run. Just a low.
Gives it a straight look. Missed a few putts. Finally made a good one.
That's a good hole to birdie.
Felt good to get one back. I wasn't extremely excited, but missed a few more holes than I would have liked during this round.
Gravity's catching up.
Shasta just off the cage. Now, you always want to aim more downhill on those downhill putts, but it's easy to overdo that. We've all hit the top of the basket so many times that it's easy to overcompensate. And Nikko with the only birdie on that one.
If you notice the terrain here, a lot of these holes on the course, you get tough stance. You're standing on a lot of rocks. I wouldn't say that it's more challenging than the other courses, but a lot of the terrain, you kind of feel like you have to get your footing right before you can putt here.
As far as footing, this probably is the most challenging
You think so?
of the 5 courses. I mean, as far as the shots, it's not, but the footing, that's definitely true.
I don't know, Zephyr Cove has a lot of rocks and different surface.
It has a lot of clear areas with just sand and wood chips too, where your footing ends up being okay, as long as you stay out of the manzanitas. Here, with the sagebrush and the rocks everywhere, it's true.
Definitely different style courses around this lake.
32.
If you haven't been to King of the Lake, you should try to get on the waiting list for next year. Fills
Yeah.
up fast.
There are not a lot of tournaments like it. It's definitely worth the experience. 5 unique Tahoe courses.
I've been talking it up to everybody. Hopefully we can draw some big names and have a huge tournament next time. A lot of good players up here in NorCal, so you better bring the A game. Got to play a lot of rounds with Proctor over the last year, and guy always keeps a positive attitude no matter how he's playing and sets a good example for people.
Yeah. Solid player and a great guy.
Yeah, it makes me want to be a better player and a better guy as well.
I gave that a chance. I mean, that was probably about 70 feet. Still windy. Good birdie from Dave.
It's windy. If you plan on making long putts in the wind, you really got to be committed for drilling them in the middle, because they spit out right and left, and the wind tends to jump them away from the basket. So you really got to be on your A game to make long putts in the wind.
Getting that pop and spin matters a lot more.
Feels great though.
Truckee River, the only course with number plates made out of the numbers you see for house addresses.
This course was teaching me a lesson today. Practice before the tournament is what it was telling me. Practice the course, learn the distances.
13B, 391 feet. I'd say probably the hardest hole in the current layout at Truckee River. And Jere's first on the tee.
One of the longer holes on the course. Very heavily guarded.
And Jere clips some of the branches in that tree. The basket is way out there. You can see it in the distance. You can either try to come up before the tree Jere hit or do the big wide Hyzer around it.
Madruga's got a lot of power. He can usually throw over the top of trees when he needs to.
Probably not trees like this one.
I think he's hoping to just get a stab at it.
Looked like he was trying to go in a little before it, which is a viable line. I've seen people get there that way if you don't have the power to Hyzer all the way.
No.
Proctor not happy with the shot, but it punches through the tree.
Did it come down?
I remember we were all impressed. He had really good results on this hole. Looked like he could have thrown it in the top of the trees. And
You could even hear him there. He was saying, "Oh, I didn't even see it come out of the tree." He had no idea he punched through and
when you
made
throw
it to
as
the
hard
basket.
as Proctor does, you can go through a lot of trees.
He has got some power. And there's the other danger with going around the tree, which is a good line, is if you're too low, you end up in those bushes where Shasta ended up.
I was trying to take this one behind the trees. I went with a cannon.
Cleared all of them, clean line, puts you about 40 feet deep, which is really the only clean shot you can throw on this. If you go at the basket, you've got to punch through some stuff. Madruga gave it a chance. Jere from a knee. Right there. Nikko for birdie.
I was about 40 feet away. I was worried about those branches.
Yeah, it's a
Let
low
it get to
ceiling.
me.
Low branches, high pile of rocks. Not an easy putt. And here's Shasta in jail. I've been in there. It's not fun.
Looks like he's going with an overhand, just pitching it out.
Slide it out there. That's all you can do from in there, really. And James, with a pleasant surprise, coming up to the basket. And sneaks the birdie
Makes
in
good.
there.
You gotta be kidding.
Sometimes they go through the trees, and you make good with the opportunity.
He's laughing about it. He knows it was close, and he knew his drive wasn't clean either.
That's all I gotta say. My girlfriend good too.
Bonus birdie.
Everybody else tapping in pars here. It's a tough one to birdie. You know, you don't see a lot of birdies on this hole from any division. It's just hard to reach.
James was picking up a lot of strokes today. He was really on his A game. A little more focused than I was. And before this, we were really, really close in the tournament. We were just battling 1-2 on every round.
Even earlier the same day at Sierra College. That was the morning of the same day. Hole 14B, 368 feet. Blind shot due to some small trees, but a pretty wide open shot.
Proctor's a little more familiar with these courses, and he is a collegiate disc golf champion, so he knows his way around the course.
That's a little bit high in the air.
He thinks
A
he was
little bit
high.
too high in the air.
Yeah, but it was good. I mean, that gave it a chance. A little
Thought it
left.
had a run for
Yeah.
ace.
Jere a little wide.
It's a little wider than I wanted.
Close to the circle's edge.
He's got a look. Lower line from Madruga looks good.
That's what you want to do on this hole. No distractions.
A little wide like Proctor, also a little short. Long look at a birdie.
Looked like I put a little bit too much steam on that one.
It looked like a very overstable disc too, so I could see the shot you were playing for, but yeah, a little much. Threw out to the C-pin. You're actually within 5 feet of the longest placement on this hole. Shasta for birdie.
Hit a lot of chains.
Yeah, he's a little surprised by that.
Proctor taking advantage of every opportunity.
Gets another one in there.
He can really putt though. So can this guy. Jere Eshelman. He usually makes those.
He usually does.
He truly does.
We've seen a lot of Jere in the past on Pure Hyzer Productions. He is a very solid
He
putter.
usually doesn't take much time. Just goes through his short routine and puts him in the middle of the basket.
And Madruga gets the birdie there with the best drive of the bunch. And we've got some tap-in pars. Tie for third again with David and Jere. James with a solid lead by now. Hole 15C, 270, just a Hyzer. There's a gap out of the tee. If you get it up high enough, it's pretty straightforward. And this is the longest placement for this hole.
Play here is probably your most overstable fairway driver. Up high. You want to get it in that basket right there.
It's a safe one to run, especially on a spike Hyzer into the hill. Why not?
Yeah, you can play a good looking ace run. You got to get around those trees though.
Yeah, Madruga's came in early there.
Just gotta get, if you get anywhere near the book, you make it.
Knows he can putt.
Jere, a little bit lower line. More
Comes in
glide.
strong.
Yeah, just 15, 20 feet deep.
That's the line right there.
Gave me a putt. Should be able to tap in.
Shasta.
Takes it way up high. Swinging left.
That's not too bad.
He's close.
Yeah, that worked out. I think that was higher than he wanted to throw, but sometimes it works out. And Dave, after hitting those trees.
Beautiful run.
Yeah, close.
Yeah, Shasta.
Hits a good putt. 30 feet.
He's happy to make it. Nikko just a few
Only
feet
about
closer.
20.
Yep.
Got it up and in. Got to collect some birdies at the end of the round so I can finish with a okay score.
Definitely do not recommend it for this course.
Dave taps in his 3. And here's Jere for birdie. Another uncharacteristic miss from Jere. Couple in a row there. It's very unusual.
Even more unusual, he slammed his disc on the other. You usually don't see that from that kind of reaction from Jere.
I'd say that's the first time I've ever seen anything like that, actually, and it was very minor. I mean, he's normally very cool and collected. Hole 16B, 293, and downhill. Another blind shot. Spike Hyzer. Try to put it in.
One of Proctor's best shots is throwing up high and over the top of trees with Hyzer. He knows how to do it.
Shows it right there. Puts it 10 feet from the basket.
Takes the down the middle putter approach. Works out. A little shorter.
Yeah, that was
I
short.
Thought so. I go with the Spike Hyzer. I was trying to make that one.
And it was close. You saw that dust come up from right under the basket.
You want to get a putt on this hole because it's shorter than it looks.
Yeah, I mean, 293 downhill, probably.
Downhill plays 250.
Jere with less of a Spike Hyzer, more of a pure Hyzer. And he's right there, too. Madruga after going wide on his drive.
Looked like the wind got a hold of this one.
Gave it a run.
See if Shasta can get some chain music.
Nice.
Perfect putt.
That was
Right
beautiful.
in the heart. Trying to get some pep in his step now.
Yeah, a couple big putts in a row there.
Couple birdies in a row. It's never too late. Get him in the chains.
James right there for the birdie, too. And Nikko under the basket after a near ace.
Would have been nice to get a few back on Proctor. At this point, it's tough. He keeps birdieing, making all the putts today.
Yeah, he was on his game this round for sure.
He's killing it.
Not to mention the whole tournament, you know.
Taking a demanding lead at this point.
4 birdies and a par. Yeah, he's got 9 strokes. Hole 17A, 252, uphill. Pretty straight shot.
I was truly running some aces at the end of my round. I was thinking if I could just get a couple back, I can give him a run tomorrow. So I was never feeling like I was all the way out of it. So glad you caught that one.
That was Joe Akavon putting on hole 18 from right in front of the tee pad on 17. So we had to wait for him to get out of the way before lead card could drive, and he drained a huge putt.
Much better walk at the end of your round when you make a huge putt.
Get off.
Proctor hits the one tree.
Got it.
This is a slightly uphill mid-range hole. Just want to keep it low and straight. Get through the gap.
Low, straight, uphill shot. Kind of reminds me of some of the holes at Sierra College, actually.
I go with the legacy rival on this one.
I wish.
Going behind the basket.
Good shot. This is one of the few greens at this course where you can get some skips, actually, which you can't see from the tee pad.
Jere takes a very straight approach.
He's there for a look at it too as well.
That one never left side of the basket.
Oh, that came out early.
Jigger pulls a little bit left.
Carried for a while before it hit anything. That could have been worse. James after
Proctor, about 60 feet.
gave it a chance. It's left.
Shasta, 25, 28 feet.
And that's a turkey.
Good guess.
Shasta turning his round around.
See if Jere can connect. He makes good. He don't take much time.
Yeah, he doesn't think about his shots. He knows what he wants to do, and he steps up and executes. Oh, close.
Looked like it almost hit inside the back of the
Yeah,
rim.
that's really hard to see.
Let's get a birdie.
There you go.
I'm thinking about the scores.
Yeah, how can you not? Got one stroke back right here.
Got one back in the past 5 holes.
Hole 18, a 236 feet, blind shot downhill. Pretty tricky for being 236 downhill because the slope continues past the basket, so it's pretty easy to skip or blow by it.
What a day.
Day, wow. Only one tomorrow, thank the Lord.
I wish we had 2 rounds on the final day. Might have
6
been able
rounds.
to catch Proctor.
6 rounds in 3 days, sure, yeah. Decent looking shot.
Plays it
from Shasta.
straight,
Little left.
finishes left.
The basket is just down by that skinny tree that you can see straight ahead.
Do it for me, baby, please!
I wanted it so bad.
That was a run.
He finished the round with an ace.
That was
Not this
definitely
time.
a run.
Keep running them. Eventually, they will go in.
Jerry's throwing a putter?
I know, I see what happens when I throw a putter.
Jere jump putt this one? Sometimes he does that.
No, I don't think so. He just threw a putter instead of a rock. I
That
think
works.
that's what Proctor was commenting on. Jere likes his rocks.
Another good shot from Proctor.
Turned over a little much, but it was good. Might have put him down the hill to the right a little bit.
Proctor was probably 90% inside the circle in this event.
Yeah.
Made most of them.
Very solid putting.
He out-putted me this time.
Here he is at the bottom of the hill for a 2. Not characteristic of what you were just saying, but that was probably outside the circle. It was definitely outside the circle. And Nikko for birdie.
Get one up there. Come on!
Strong finish. Made up a couple strokes at the end at least. Finished on a good note.
Guess that's what you call an angry birdie.
Just one putt.
Madruga not too happy about missing that one. Shasta for a 2.
He gets his putt to stay. Good speed control.
Yeah, both Nikko and Shasta turned things around there at the end. Jere.
He missed more putts this round than I've ever seen him miss.
Yeah, this was a strange round for a lot of people, I think. But like we mentioned at the beginning, it was the windiest of all 5 rounds of King of the Lake.
That wind was strong.
And it may have been just as windy the other rounds, but they're all so much more wooded, those other courses, that they're protected. And this
Yeah, it was constant all day long. Yeah,
open
a
enough,
constant
yeah.
15 to maybe 20 mile an hour wind.
So there are the final scores after round 4. Proctor's got a 7-stroke lead over Nikko going into the last round.
He killed it on days like this. He's got to shake the guy's hand. And
He did. I mean, that was a 1063 rated round right there from James. Very solid. And the lead card for round 5 is going to be the same 5 players. I think with Shasta turning his round around there at the end, he managed to stay lead card for round 5. Well, that wraps it up for round 4 at King of the Lake. Truckee River, short, open course, very windy. Proctor put together a solid round, has a good lead going into the final round at Tahoe Vista. You want to?
yeah, James Proctor was killing it. He was really on fire. He continued to make putts on the course when he had the opportunity. And I was a little bit off during the round, missed a few putts that I definitely could have gave better runs. And, sometimes you just got to shake the guy's hand at the end of the round, tell him good job, put it together and go out there and attack the course the next day. It's hard to always play your best, but, just never give up and keep trying to make them in the basket. Eventually they will fall in.
And there is one more round, round 5, day 3, the only day where the players only have to play one round, and you get to start in the afternoon too. You get to sleep in after 2 days of getting up early and playing 2 rounds a day. Tahoe Vista is in Kings Beach, North Lake Tahoe, another beautiful Tahoe course. A lot of tight fairways, thick trees, very challenging, I'd say like Sierra College or Zephyr, a lot of elevation.
Yeah, I'd say it's one of the more challenging courses of the bunch.
It definitely is. It really tests a lot of different types of shots too. A lot of
There's tall trees and narrow fairways.
And there are a few open holes too. We got a few open par 4s
Couple
and
long ones to end it.
the last hole of the tournament is a over 1,000-foot par 5. Starting in the trees, you go out of the trees and then down an open fairway.
Yeah, that one you could really unleash your bombs.
And lastly, I got to thank again Jen, my girlfriend, for filming with the other camera, getting the angle from the basket on all the blind shots. And actually, for how short Truckee River was, there were a lot of blind shots.
Yeah, we got some good footage. You guys captured some amazing throws from some of the best players in Northern California. It's exciting to watch, and I'm glad I was a part of King of the Lake this year.
And I also got to thank Stan Weed for making the excellent motion graphics you've seen throughout the last many episodes of Pure Hyzer Productions. I've never actually thanked him in a show, so thanks Stan for making Pure Hyzer Productions look even better.
Cool. Give him some
And-
props. He's gonna appreciate it.
And with that, we'll take a look at some of the highlights from round 4.
All right, it's gonna be fun.
First up on the highlights.
Best shots of the round.
Nikko's drive on hole 1.
Hyzer flip through the gap, low, straight, towards the basket.
Going right at it. Without that bush, you would have been under it. Puts you in the circle. Nice little 15, 20 footer for a birdie. Starting off strong.
Right in the middle.
Next up, James Proctor, hole 4.
I like the slow motion footage. You can really see how to pull back the form, get the proper technique.
Gets a few kicks off some
That one
rocks.
looked awesome. Slow motion.
Jere Eshelman driving on hole 5. High turnover shot. Holds
This
the
one had a
line.
chance to go in.
The right height and everything. Little wide, kicks off a rock, and he is parked for a 2. David Madruga driving on hole 6.
Taking a power sidearm.
And skips it right under the basket.
Easy birdie.
And James Proctor putting on hole 6.
Makes
After
that 30-footer look so easy. Smooth putting by James Proctor.
Jere Eshelman driving on hole 8.
Jere loves to throw his orange discs with precision.
Right at the basket, just to the right of it.
We all had good-looking throws on number 8.
Madruga with a bit of a tricky lie, like we kept talking about through the video.
Puts
Solid
it in the middle of the basket.
straddle putt for a 2. And Nikko Locastro on hole 11. Uphill jump putt, right in the middle. And here we get to see James's drive on hole 13 again. He thinks it's going to go in that tree. Everyone from the tee pad lost sight of it at that point.
James has been playing disc golf for a long time, and he's really developed his power game, and it works in his favor a lot of the time.
He got through all that, and here he is for 2. A little low, but he sneaks it in there.
Just enough. Works.
Solid birdie on probably the hardest hole of the round. And James Proctor again on hole 14. Throws a nice high Hyzer shot. He thought it was too high, but
Proctor's
runs
taking a
it.
Hyzer. You can expect him to be pretty close to the basket.
a little low again and makes it in again.
He's on a roll.
Unstoppable.
Shasta, one of his better putts of the round. Gets that one on the left side. Clean for birdie.
Hey!
Feels like he won the tournament for a moment. I know that feeling.
Hit a putt. And the very next hole, hole 16, Shasta again with a big putt.
Starting to feel it.
Hyzers it right into the strong side.
Getting that confidence back.
And here's the confidence again, 3 holes in a row, where he put himself circle's edge or farther away. Get 3 good putts.
Like I was saying, it's never too late to start making them. Even when you miss a few in a row, you could always make the next few.
And to finish off the highlight reel, Nikko Locastro putting on hole 18. Big
I had to
jump
make
putt.
this. This was a must-make putt for me.
Solid. Right in the heart.
Got the results I was looking for. At least on this hole. About a 45-footer.
Give me that birdie.
Had to get aggressive to make the last putt. Didn't want to come up soft.
That wraps it up for round 4. Don't forget to subscribe to Pure Hyzer Productions to stay notified when round 5 is available.
I'm Nikko Locastro, and I'm here with Pavo Stubstad from Pure Hyzer Productions, and we're gonna My name's Nikko Locastro. Sorry. I don't know why I get to this. I'm Nikko Locastro. This is my basket. I'm taking it home with me tonight. This guy's been using it on all of his videos. I've been missing too many putts on tour.
And round 4 here at Truckee River, it's a lot more open of a course, a lot shorter, a lot less cover from wind too.
Yes.
So
Definitely had wind factor the day of the tournament, and I sucked. So we're gonna cut that part out. We were doing good until then. I butchered it.
So going into round 4 here, we've
Blabbity blabbity
Blabbity
blabbity blah.
from the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Just see how we could wing through it.
I think we might do better
I think we
if
could
do
do
one
better.
more.
I think we could do better.
Should we clank
Test
our
it,
cups
yeah.
together at the beginning?
If we really wanted to do it fun, dude, we could clank so hard and break these things, dude. I'll pay you like $10. Go out on a bang. Right here into the chains, dude, just together, just.
We got porcelain in our
I
eyes,
just- yeah,
and
we
we
all
do the
fucked
rest
up,
of the
right?
intro with blood
Wound up
running down
being
our
a YouTube
faces.
sensation.
What do you think, Jen?
There's bits and pieces that were good, but basically we're a couple of stumbling morons.